Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the course Management Information Systems. Today we're going to start with the chapter 13, Investigation and Analysis of the System Development Cycle. So we're starting with the module 4. In last lecture में भी हमने module 4 का chapter 12 देखा था. That was about the project management. In the last module 3 and in the previous modules, what we studied was about the information systems. Okay, what are the information systems? How the different kinds of businesses use different kinds of information systems, and what are the different types of information systems that are used in the businesses. जिसमें हमने MIS, DSS, ESS, etc. देखा था, as well as we looked into the different technologies that are used in creating these information systems. And also we talked about the benefits of using technology and information systems in the businesses. So in module 4 we're going to concentrate on the systems development. That is कि एक तरफ तो हमने देख लिया कि information systems क्या होते हैं, कौन-कौन सी types के होते हैं, लेकिन इन chapters में ये जो next 2 chapters हम करेंगे, that is about chapter 13 investigation and analysis, and also chapter 14 that is about the design and implementation. इसमें हम देखेंगे कि अगर एक organization को information systems चाहिए, then how do they actually go through the process of the development of that information system, जिसको हम systems development बोलते हैं, कि कौन-कौन से steps हैं that these organizations have to follow to actually either create a kind of information system for them or to purchase an information system. For example, an ERP system अगर purchase करना है, then what kind of planning and what kind of requirements analysis do the organizations have to go through. इसी के सिलसिले में we did the first chapter in this module, that was chapter 12 about the project management, जिसको हमने देखा था in terms of information systems project management, that when you talk about the systems development, then you take that as a project on the whole. So उसके ऊपर वही वाले applications apply होती हैं, वही वाले rules apply होते हैं that apply to any other kind of project. उसमें हमने देखा था कि आपके project के different scope क्या होता है, उसकी cost analysis किस तरह होती है. Then we looked at the different kinds of success factors that are involved in the project. Also we talked about a very important aspect that is associated with any kind of project, that is change management. So whenever you want to bring in any new kind of a system into the organization or into the new company, then what will be the change that is required to be managed? That is कि जो लोग involved हैं, the users involved हैं, जो employees involved हैं उस system को use करने के लिए, उनको आप किस तरह पहले ही से तैयार करेंगे, किस तरह आप प्लानिंग करेंगे, किस तरह आप लोगों की ट्रेनिंग करेंगे, एंड ऑल्सो किस तरह आप लोगों को इन्वॉल्व करेंगे so that they do not resist any new kind of a system, so that they do not get surprised by what the system is going to do. That's why we talked about the end user role in the project management, कि जिस तरह आप end users को involve करेंगे उसी तरह they would be ready for the kind of system that is to be implemented, or they will be sort of anticipating it, looking forward to it, कि okay fine, this system is actually going to help us and this will be beneficial for us. So there are plenty of ways in which the change management can happen in an organization in a very refined manner. And the key person, जो हमने बात की थी last lecture में, the key person who is responsible for all this change management and managing the change as well as managing the people in the organization is the system analyst, who is the key person in the systems development cycle as well. So whenever a system is being developed, the key person होता है, apart from the project manager, is the system analyst, who is sort of a change agent in the whole process of change management. So basically systems development is all about knowing how your information system project is to be planned, how is the goals associated with the information systems are to be aligned with the goals of the organization, and how the system can be either developed through traditional programming, or you can use rapid development for developing the system, or you're outsourcing the development. So there are a number of factors that are involved in the system development. Let's have a look at what we're going to do in this chapter, investigation and analysis. में हम देखेंगे कि The first thing is we're going to identify the participants in the system development, who is part of the system development cycle, or the systems development में कौन-कौन लोग included हैं. Then we're going to define the term information systems planning. What is that and what does it encompass? इसमें क्या-क्या चीजें involve होती हैं. Then we're going to discuss the various types of system development life cycles, कौन सी types हैं और उनके differences क्या हैं, advantages क्या हैं, disadvantages क्या हैं, etc. And then we're going to talk about the system development life cycle में पहला phase जो है, that is the investigation, and the different activities that are involved in the investigation phase. Then we're going to talk about different this next phase, that is the systems analysis phase, and we're going to identify the tools and techniques used for the systems analysis. So in today's lecture we're going to do till the life cycles, and in the next lecture we're going to talk about the investigation and analysis. Right, so the first point in our learning objectives was the defining the participants of the systems development, that who are the people who are involved in this whole process of system development. So as we know that whenever you want to do something, that it is only effective, or any kind of project is only effective when there's a team involved, when there's a group effort, when there's a team effort. That's why when you are doing this information system development project, then there is a development team that is involved in doing this development. और उस team के objectives basically क्या हैं? Number one is determine the objective of the information system. Information system जो create हो रहा है, what is the reason behind it, what is the rationale behind it, and that we also mentioned in the project management as well, कि जब आप project कोई शुरू करते हैं, then there is a rationale behind it, or there is a reason behind it, there is an objective behind it. Number one is that. Number two is that once you have set the objectives for the information systems, that the information system is going to achieve this, then the team is also responsible for delivering a system, or creating a system, or developing a system that meets those objectives. So like any other project, again project manager involved होता है systems development team में. Number one is the project manager, who is responsible for coordinating all people and resources needed to complete a project on time. So he is basically the person who needs to have the technical skills as well as the people skill, because he needs to be dealing with the people. Then we have the stakeholders. Who are stakeholders? These are the people who themselves or through an area of an organization sort of benefit from the project. Then there are the users. These are the people who interact with the system. They could be the employees, the suppliers, the managers, etc. So anybody who will be using the system is the user. Then we have another roles for the system development project. These are the system analysts. Like we said, he is the major person in the whole development team, and he is basically a professional who specializes in analyzing and designing the business systems. And not only that, we said he's also the change agent as well. And then along with the system analyst, who is basically responsible for all of the analysis and designing of the project, इसके अलावा उसके साथ different और engineers, IS personals जो होते हैं वो काम कर रहे होते हैं. Either they are the hardware specialist, hardware engineer, software engineer, or they could be the database engineer or the telecommunication engineer or specialist that would be working with the system analyst. As well as different kinds of programmers who would be the people to actually modify and develop programs according to the user requirements. So all of these people make up that whole development team, and these people need to be working together to sort of build a system जो कि beneficial होगा for the organization. Right, here is again a graphical picture of what the people are involved in the system. So here, as you can see, the system analyst in this picture is in the middle of everything. So basically कहने का मकसद ये है कि system analyst जो है वो आपका negotiator है, एक sort of mediator है जो कि सारे लोगों को साथ लेके चल रहा है. Either they are the software programmers, or on one hand they are the stakeholders and the users. So basically again, when we talked about information systems, तब भी हमने बोला था कि information system specialist जब आप अगर आप बने, then you will have this role of basically being the mediator between the people on the business side and the people on the programming side. So technical लोगों के दरमियान और business related लोगों के दरमियान जो communicator एक तरह के बन जाते हैं, that is the system analyst. So basically they are communicating with all of them, and it's not just that कि सिर्फ यही communicate कर रहे हैं programmers और users से, everybody else is also communicating with each other as well. It's just that to emphasize that system analyst is in the middle of all that communication that is going on and all the work that is going on in the systems development. Right, ji. Then we talk about initiating the systems development. When we talk about initiating, that means starting the systems development. जब system development शुरू करना है तो वो किस तरह करना है और वो किस तरह शुरू होती है. Right, so initiatives means the startup point कि वो कहाँ से शुरू होगा. Now these initiatives can start from, can actually arise from all levels of the organization, that is managerial level, middle management level, top management level, operational level. किसी भी एक level से कोई भी बंदा आके कोई एक problem raise कर सकता है, and afterwards if the problem is genuine, then the system development might start. So it can arise from all levels of the organization, and there may be number of reasons for the initiation to take place. आगे जाके हम different reasons देखते हैं. And these system development initiatives can be planned or they can be unplanned. Planned means that after 2 to 5 years, the system needs to be sort of changed, or the system needs to be looked at again depending upon the new technologies. So number of reasons कौन-कौन से हो सकते हैं for the information systems to start is, number one, there could be problems with the existing system. That is कि जो existing system है, जो current system है, जो already काम कर रहा है, for example, उसमें कोई problem आ जाती है, वो कोई इस किस्म का मसला हो जाता है that it is not generating the right kind of reports, or whatever the reports that are required are not up to the expectations. And or there could be a problem that there is a desire to exploit new opportunities, such as a new e-commerce initiative. For example, the government wants to move on to exploit any new kind of opportunity. For example, e-commerce की site उन्होंने business ने सोचा है, company ने सोचा है कि वो उसकी तरफ जाना चाहेंगे. Then they need to sort of go through modifying the system. Or there is increasing competition and the company wants to achieve a kind of a competitive advantage through the help of information systems. आगे चल के हम देखेंगे कि information systems जो हैं, yes, they can be used to achieve the competitive advantage as well. Or there is simply a desire to make more effective use of information. जो भी information आपके system में आ रही है उसको आप और ज़्यादा effectively किस तरह use कर सकते हैं. So there might be people who would be thinking of ideas to do so. Or there is organizational growth, or there is a merger or acquisition. So merger or acquisition जब होता है, then that requires two information departments to be merged together, and also information systems to be merged together of two different companies. So when that happens, that takes a lot of time, and that takes a lot of planning on the management level कि आप दो departments को किस तरह merge करेंगे और दो systems को किस तरह merge करेंगे, technically as well as from a managerial point of view. Right, or there can be a change in the market or external environment that trigger the system development cycle, or there could be new laws and regulation, and your system has to comply with those laws and regulations. इसलिए you need to go through a certain change process or a systems development process. So there can be a number of reasons. Either there can be reasons that are external, or there can be reasons that are internal that affect that become a trigger for starting up the process of system development. So all these reasons basically become the source become basically the source or the reason for any kind of system development to take place. Either it can be creating the whole system from A to Z, or it could be simply modifying any kind of a sort of a module of the system. Right, next we have the information systems planning. So whenever we talk about the information systems planning, we also with it talk about aligning the goals of the information systems with the corporate goals. So information systems planning basically kya hai? Like we said, already mentioned in the project management as well, that planning refers to strategically. So planning refers to translating strategic as well as organizational goals into system development initiatives. So for example, agar organization ka ye goal hai, if there's a lot of competition and they want to achieve a competitive advantage, so organization goal would be that the organization needs to achieve the competitive advantage in this department, for example. So information systems का जो initiative होगा, that would be based on that goal कि information system ने कोई इस तरह का काम करना है that in a certain department that the organization is going to benefit from it and achieve that competitive advantage through the information system. फ़ायदा क्या होता है इन दोनों goals को align करने का? That the information system that is being developed वो फिर short term के लिए use नहीं होता, वो long term के लिए use होगा, and it does not have to go through any kind of change in a certain amount of years, so that it is organization को long term में उस चीज़ का फ़ायदा हो, and वो वाला information system जो है वो ज़्यादा अरसे के लिए organization में काम करे. Also, aligning the organization goals and information system goals has the following benefits as well. That is, it's critical for successful system development effort. Also, this gives again a long-range view of information systems used in the organization. Also allows better use of information systems resources, for example, funds, personnel, and time. So these are the few benefits of aligning the organization goal with the information systems goals. So as you can see in this image, ये आपको again relation बता रहे हैं information systems planning में कि जब एक strategic goal होता है या organizational goal होता है तो वो system initiative में किस तरह translate हो रहा है. So and on the top we have the strategic plan here, and this strategic plan is then translated to develop the overall objectives of the system development. Also, previously unplanned system projects are also become part of the competition as well when you want to identify any kind of information system project. So, next step is identifying the information system project when you have all the projects on the table and you want to decide कि कौन सा project किस priority के ऊपर हमें शुरू करना है किसी भी organization को. Then they set the priorities and select different projects. Then every project that is on the table is given a set of priorities, that this is the crucial project, this is a critical project that needs to be done before a certain other kind of project. So depending upon the different kinds of priorities, आपका कोई एक project select होता है. And then the resources are analyzed, the requirements are analyzed, and the different kinds of schedules and deadlines are set to meet the project. And afterwards, the develop IS planning document starts. So the planning document of how the information system development needs to take place starts from here. So in the beginning you have a strategic goal, you have a strategic plan that the organization needs to do this. इसके अलावा there are other unplanned information system project, for example, that could have been arised from any kind of problem with the existing system as well. So they put all of those projects on the table. The top management decides that which project has the higher priority or which project is more important, and according to that, that project is selected. The different kinds of requirements for those projects are selected as well as schedules, and then the system information system planning document is created for that certain project. Right, like we talked about before, that आपका जो information system जो develop हो रहा है, one of the reasons for developing that system is to achieve the competitive advantage. So whenever information system project is done with this kind of intention that a company wants to create an information system to achieve a competitive advantage, that requires basically two kinds of analysis. That means कि आपका एक creative analysis आ जाता है, उसमें एक critical analysis आ जाता है. Creative analysis basically means that you are thinking about new kinds of approaches to solve the existing problems in the system. So that means it allows you to think out of the box, to think of very innovative ideas, to think of very new ideas. और इन चीज़ की inspiration जो है that can come from people that have nothing to do about the system or that have nothing to do about the problem as well. So basically it is all about being creative in solving a certain problem. So the solutions may be inspired by people and events that are not directly related with the problem. So it means that इसमें जो analysis होता है that is about thinking of a very new way or a very innovative way to solve a certain problem. Right, while on the other hand, when you talk about the critical analysis, that is an unbiased and careful questioning to see if system elements are related in the most effective ways or not. For example, जो भी आपका system जिस तरह भी काम कर रहा है या जिस तरह भी जो भी requirements है users की, then you just simply do a very thorough questioning on how the system is actually working or how the elements that are part of the system are related. उनका जो relation है, either it is effective, it is creating the good results, or it is working in an effective manner or not. And it also questions the so critical analysis में basically दो main चीज़ें आ जाती हैं. Number one is questioning statements and assumptions. And this is basically done to the users, that is when the users state different kinds of statements, or when the users say that this is their requirement, then you sort of counter question them, you question them and again about because you want to clarify the situation, not because you don't believe the users, but it's only because you want to be clear that if the user is saying that this is what they want, then is this exactly what they want or not? And also about different assumptions, because the users might think if this is the problem, then this only a certain way of doing it would be the only way of doing it. So they would say that this is the solution, and the way of solving a certain problem or to reach to a certain solution is through this way only. So it's only about questioning the user's assumptions, questioning the user's statements as well. And what's the result of doing that? What's the purpose of doing that? Is that you want to get to the real problem, and you want to think of different alternative ways to come to a certain solution. Number 2 point is basically about the different objectives and orientations का जो conflict आ जाता है, for example between different departments. For example, एक department का जो user है, that would require something else, while the user from the other department would have a clashing requirement. For example, purchasing department wants to buy things that are cheaper, or for example wants to buy the inventory that is cheaper so that they don't have to spend a lot. But for example, the technical department person wants to buy something expensive or something with good quality that does not need to be replaced more often. So this is the kind of a conflict that is based on the objectives and orientations of the need of the users that needs to be resolved before you move on to the next phase. Right, so different departments might have their own set of priorities. So these kind of priorities lead to different kinds of clashes when you talk about the requirements, or even when you talk about the needs of the departments. So these kind of clashes need to be sort of identified and resolved before moving on to the next step. Right, so this is basically the 2 points that are part of the competitive advantage when you want to deliver a system that is going to give a competitive advantage to the organization. तो उसमें 2 चीज़ें आ जाती हैं. Number 1 is creative analysis, that is you think of a solution that is very innovative, very different, and nobody else has done it before. Or you move on to the critical analysis, that is not only that you looking at the needs of the people, और जो भी लोगों की needs हैं उनको आप question कर रहे हैं, उनके assumptions को questions कर रहे हैं, and also you are resolving the conflicts that occur because of the different objectives and orientations of the department. So this is all about being critical about the current situation and the current needs of the people. So only this way you're going to achieve the competitive advantage with the help of the information system. So when we talk about establishing objectives for any kind of system, so there are two kinds of objectives. Number one is the performance objectives, and number two is the cost objectives. And the system ke objectives, and basically they are balanced between these performance objectives as well as cost objectives. So they can be measured to figure out the extent to which the system performs. That एक system जो काम कर रहा है वो उसका काम करने का level क्या है. So the first point here is the quality or usefulness of the output. That means, is the system producing the right information for any value added process or not. So it's all about that a system is creating the right kind of information that is required for any value added process. Number second is the accuracy of the output. Accuracy, again, that it is creating the right kind of output, or it is reflecting a true situation or not. Number third is the speed at which output is generated. That is the output being generated on time? For example, it can be calculated in the form of customer response time, etc. That is the output that is being given by the system on time या फिर किसी delay से आ रहा है. Next is the scalability of the resulting system. That means, again, scalability की हमने पहले भी बात की थी in databases. Just if you remember, we talked about it in the hardware, that the system must be developed in such a way that it can handle the organization growth. That is, for example, if the organization is going to grow in the coming years, then different kinds of hardware, software, processing powers, storage power can be added into the system. And also the risk of the system. That means the system needs to be developed to reduce a certain kind of risk. Now, performance objectives में दो तीन और objectives आ जाते हैं. Number one is the quality of the format of the output, that the output should be in a usable form and it could be easier to use. So performance objectives में एक और objective भी आ जाता है, that is about the quality of format of the output. That is कि जो output produce हो रहा है, जो उसका format है, that is usable and that is easier to understand. So these are the performance objectives related to how the system is performing or to the extent to which the system is performing. The second set of objectives that is related with the cost is related with the development cost. That means total cost of the development of the project क्या है, or to get the system up and running. The next is the cost related to the uniqueness of the system application. That means कि जो आपका system develop हो रहा है, it should not be very simple or cheap, बल्कि कोई एक ऐसा system आप pick up कर रहे हैं that is expensive, but reusable system in the coming years, it will be a good option. Also, other costs that are to be considered are the fixed investments in hardware and related equipment, as well as ongoing operating costs of the system, which include the personnel, which also include the software that needs to be updated regularly, that includes the supplies, as well as different resources, for example, the electricity or other kind of resources that need to be required to set up the information system. So the performance objectives again need to be balanced with the cost objectives के अगर तो system even though अगर आपका expensive है, but it has been created to be reused over and over again through a certain number of years, then you need to go for a certain kind of system or a certain kind of project that is going to create that system. Right, next we're going to talk about the different kinds of system development life cycle. Like we said, कि जब आप system development करना शुरू करते हैं, then it's again a series of steps or a series of phases that happen throughout the process of the system development. There are 4 different kinds of ways a system can be developed. Number 1 is a traditional system development cycle. Number 2 is prototyping. Number 3 is rapid application development, जिसमें joint application development और agile development भी आ जाता है, जिसको हम extreme programming कहते हैं. And number 4 is end user development. So when we are talking about these kind of system development life cycles, पहले हम देख लेते हैं traditional life cycle, because most of the life cycles are basically based on that traditional life cycle. A traditional life cycle basically consists of the 5 steps, जो कि हम इस कोर्स में पढ़ेंगे भी, because most of these system development are based on these traditional life cycles. So number 1 is system investigation, system analysis, system design, system implementation, and systems maintenance and review. So basically system investigation क्या है? That it questions that what is the problem and is it worth solving the problem or not. So basically it identifies the problems and opportunities and considers them in the light of the business goals. So system investigation basically क्या कर रहा है? Figure out कर रहा है what is the problem and is the problem worth solving or not, and it's going to go and figure out the different problems and opportunities and align them with the organizational goals as well. Number 2 is system analysis. इसमें जो क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है that is what must information system do to solve a problem. That is information systems क्या करेंगे कि वो problem solve होगा. So इसमें क्या है? Basically existing systems को देखा जा रहा है, work processes को देखा जा रहा है to identify the strengths and the weaknesses of the existing systems and look for different opportunities for improvement as well. Next we have the systems design. So the question here is how is the information system going to solve that problem or to obtain the solution. System analysis में हमने देखा था what should the information system do. System design में देखेंगे कि how is the information system going to solve certain problem. So when you do the system analysis, you look at the different kinds of what's. Okay, this is one way of doing it, this is another way of doing it, this is the third way of doing it, and you sort of come up with a very best option of a solution. For example, you have different solutions and you pick up one of the solutions. Then we have number 4 is system in implementation. That is you're putting the solutions into action. That is you are either creating or acquiring system component details in system design or assembling them, placing new or modified system into operation. So it's all about putting whatever solution that you have designed into implementation or start programming it or buying the equipment or buying the system. And then in the end we have the system maintenance and review. That is ensuring that the system जिसको हमने implement किया है, the solution जिसको implement किया है, is working fine or not. So it ensures that the system operates as it was intended to operate and modifies the system so it continues to meet the changing business needs. Right ji. So while I was telling you all this, then we were talking about the problem and solution as well. ठीक है? एक तरफ तो हम बात कर रहे थे सिस्टम डेवलपमेंट की, एक तरफ हम बात कर रहे थे सिस्टम की कि सिस्टम के अंदर प्रॉब्लम जो आ रही है उसको सोल्यूशन क्या है, उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के तरीके क्या हैं. सो तो इसमें आपको आई होप याद आ रहा होगा कि जब हम डिसीजन मेकिंग की भी बात कर रहे थे उधर भी वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एज वेल. सो जब हम सिस्टम डेवलपमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं इधर भी वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अगेन. सो on the whole, it's just the process that we said that's working in the mind, that is the decision-making process, that it's all about problem solving. So, system investigation basically क्या है? Understanding the problem है. System analysis basically क्या है? Understanding the solution है. So, if that you have a problem, you have various solutions. System design क्या है? There are various solutions, you're selecting the solution and you basically selecting and planning the best solution. That ये solution है और इसको करने का ये वाला तरीका है. This is how we're going to do it. System implementation क्या है? System implementation क्या है? It's basically picking up that solution that you have selected and putting it into action or place solution into effect. And in the end, you are evaluating the results of the solution. So it's again, you are basically following the same प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग प्रोसेस जिसमें आप प्रॉब्लम को लेके उसके सोल्यूशन को फिगर आउट कर रहे हैं और उस सोल्यूशन को आप एक्शन फॉर्म में लेके आ रहे हैं. सो डेवलपमेंट साइकिल आल्सो फॉलोज द सेम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्टेप्स. फ़र्क सिर्फ ये है कि उसका हमने नाम चेंज करके इन टर्म्स ऑफ सिस्टम हम उसको लेके आ गए. हमने सिस्टम इन्वेस्टिगेशन बोला है, सिस्टम एनालिसिस बोला है, सिस्टम डिज़ाइन बोला है, सिस्टम्स इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बोला है, एंड देन इन द एंड evaluation को हमने systems maintenance and review बोला है. So if you look at it, then it's all the same common sense that you follow in the brain as well, that when you perceive a problem, you look for the actual reason of the problem. After you have figured out the reason of the problem, you look at different solutions of solving a certain problem, and once you have different solutions, you only pick up one solution and apply it on the problem. If it doesn't work properly, then you go back to the steps. So that's why if you see in the different this life cycle हम इसको इसलिए बोल रहे हैं because it's an ongoing process. So for example, if you are understanding the problem, नहीं किया understand problem सही तरह, तो आप system analysis से वापस जा रहे हैं and you are trying to understand the problem again. Solutions आ गए हैं, you cannot figure out the best solution, you are going back again to the same system analysis, or you're going back again to the problem, understanding the problem phase, and you're figuring out the problem again. So again, life cycle इसीलिए because it's ongoing, और अगर आप किसी एक point पे फंस रहे हैं, you cannot figure out the right way of doing it, you go back one step again, or you go back 2 or 3 steps again. So when you talk about this traditional system development cycle, तो इसमें इस phase से इस phase पे जाना is going to be costly and it's going to be very difficult, right? That means you're going to be going through the system development cycle, the whole development cycle all over again. Again, if you go from this phase to this phase, again उसका impact, उसका difficulty level या उसका cost जो है वो again कम है. And as you move on in the life cycle, then going back from here to here again is costly. कि एक बार अगर आपने implementation कर दिया है, then going back, if there is a problem there, then going back to this phase is again costly and difficult, right? Also, but one benefit of this traditional system development cycle is that when you move from phase to phase, then it's a slow process, and during this whole process आपका जो documentation है वो एक बहुत detail में create हो रही होती है. But the problem is this with these kind of cycles is that there is not a lot of user interaction. That is, the user is only going to have a look at the system. He is only going to test the system only when it's ready at this implementation state. After this implementation or इस level के ऊपर आके user को वो system मिलेगा to sort of test it. उससे पहले the users cannot get a system. By this time आपका जो पूरा project का जो period है वो almost over होने का time हो जाता है उसका. So that if a user might have a certain kind of a question or might have a certain kind of a requirement of a change, then that cannot happen instantly here. So if they have to go back to this level or इस level के ऊपर, by that time जाना throughout that project life cycle is going to be difficult. So for example, आपके 3 महीने का project था और 3 महीने बाद आप user को एक चीज़ दे रहे हैं test करने के लिए that this is what your need was and this is what you've done, but the user says that no, this was not my need, आपने interpret गलत किया है. For example, जो उसका implementation result आया वो उस तरह नहीं है जिस तरह को user को required था. So that is sort of going to create a bit of a problem here. And all that project cannot go back here because it has finished its 3-month period. Right, so this is a drawback in the traditional systems development life cycle. So the next one is prototyping. Prototyping basically क्या है? It's an iterative approach. That means that it follows the same, as you can see here, it follows the same traditional life cycle phase. Requirements determine हो रही है, analyze हो रहा है, design हो रहा है, implement हो रहा है. But there is a very interesting thing that is called a user review here, right जी? अब iteration क्या है? For example, if it's a 3-month period, तो इसमें क्या है? इस तरह हो सकता है कि 1 iteration is to be completed in the first month, 2nd iteration to be completed in the 2nd month, and 3rd final one to be completed in the 3rd month. अब इसमें क्या है? The iteration is basically not, the first iteration जो है, it's not a full-fledged project. उसमें कोई एक ऐसी चीज़ें कर देते हैं जो कि मॉकअप होता है या फेक होती हैं. or you can say it's a sort of a mock-up model या preliminary model है जो कि user को दिया जाता है just to see if a certain user interface, for example, is according to their needs or not. So they make a certain module of for example a system, module of a system भी create कर सकते हैं या फिर उस system को scale down करके भी create कर सकते हैं. बहुत ज़्यादा hard coded programming, बहुत ज़्यादा sophisticated programming नहीं करके but बहुत simple programming करके भी उसको minimize करके एक shell सा create कर देते हैं that they need to, so that they can take the feedback from the user. So when the user comes in touch with the system and actually they say, okay, this is again the change that is required to be done in the system. Again, that change is implemented in the iteration 2. Again, that is sent for user review again by the end of that whole thing. Again, दोबारा requirements change आता है, then means कि आपके requirements change हो रही हैं. Again, requirements determine हो रही हैं, analyze हो रहा है, design create हो रहा है, and implement हो रहा है design. So it's basically an iterative process. फायदा क्या हो रहा है? User की जो feedback है वो ज़्यादा मिल रही है. User जो change चाह रहा है वो आपकी implement हो रही है साथ साथ. So basically iterative approach में when you talk about prototype, there are two types of prototypes. Number one is the operational prototype, is the kind of prototype that works. That means it accesses the real data files, edits the input data, makes necessary computation, comparison, and produces real output. एक होता है तो non-operational prototype होता है, that is basically a model or a mock-up and includes output and input specifications and formats, but it does not include the real output or the real input. That only shows कि आपका जो output input है वो इस तरह का होगा. Right? So there can be different kinds of prototypes depending on the system के अगर आप non-operative prototype को पहली बार में चला सकते हैं then it's good, और operational prototype अगर आप पहली बार में चला सकते हैं then that is again depends on the user requirements and what is feasible at that moment. So thought about differences. Obviously when you talk about prototyping and traditional system development cycle तो differences आ जाते हैं. As I said before, that traditional system development cycle में user involvement जो है वो बिल्कुल end में जाके होती है. You can get this user feedback at the end. While prototyping में you are getting the user feedback after every iteration. So this means that इसका एक फ़ायदा ये होता है कि there is an early detection of errors and the user needs. ठीक है, because traditional में जो user needs और errors थे अगर कोई that basically that matter to the user वो आपको बहुत लेट पता चलते हैं, while in the prototyping approach फ़ौरन पता चलना शुरू हो जाते हैं. And then the next major difference is that prototyping में basically it's all about creating or developing the system quickly so that the user feedback can be taken, and that means कि उसका जो documentation वाला part है वो थोड़ा lack करता है. Documentation की बहुत ज़्यादा जोर नहीं होता, while on the traditional side documentation is strong and everything can be sort of tracked back to the phase 1 as well. Whereas prototyping में documentation का जो strength है वो थोड़ी lack करती है. इसके अलावा एक और disadvantage prototyping का ये है कि system backup recovery as well as performance and security issues जो हैं at times वो compromise हो जाते हैं because they're overlooked and compromised because जो emphasis again होता है वो development की तरफ ज़्यादा होता है. So when you have more emphasis on the development part तो बाकी सारे जो issues हैं वो sideline हो जाते हैं along with the documentation as well. So these are the few differences between the traditional system development cycle as well as the prototyping जिसको हम कहते हैं कि iterative approach है. System development cycle ही है again, but it is iterating from after the user review. So in today's lecture we started off with the system development itself कि जब आप system development शुरू करते हैं कोई भी organization को जब कोई चीज़ required होती है then what are the basic concepts that are associated with it and what is the development cycle include. So उसमें जो पहली चीज़ आ जाती है वो हैं participants. That is, what are the people, who are the people involved in this whole system development cycle. And then we talked about what is the reason or what basically triggers the system development. So once you have a set of participants, then you फिर उसके बाद आपके पास आ जाते हैं कि initiatives जो हैं वो क्या क्या हो सकते हैं. That is, there could be a problem with the existing system. The company wants to achieve competitive advantage. There are other kinds of external as well as internal factors that basically trigger the initiation of the system development process. या फिर हम इसको इस तरह कह सकते हैं कि आपका जो initiatives होते हैं वो किस reason की वजह से लिए जाते हैं. Then we talked about the information system planning. Information system planning, again, like any other kind of project, means that you are aligning the goals of the organization with the goals of the information system. That is, कि organization के जो भी strategic या organizational goals हैं उनको हम translate कर रहे हैं इस तरह that they are becoming the goals of the information system. So, and one of the way of doing is that information system is being created to create a competitive advantage. So information systems can be used to create any kind of competitive advantage for the organization, and for that there are two basic things that are part of the competitive advantage information system, that is critical analysis and as well as creative analysis, that need to happen when you want to create an information system that needs to achieve the competitive advantage. इसके अलावा when we're talking about the information system planning, we said that when you have set the goals of the information system, then there are certain objectives जो कि measure किए जा सकते हैं. So there were two kinds of objectives main जो थे, that was the performance objectives as well as the cost objectives, and these two objectives are basically balanced so that you can figure out which of the system needs to be developed या कौन सा project जो है जिसको हमने आगे लेके जाना है while measuring these performance objectives as well as cost objectives. Right जी, इसके अलावा we talked about the different kinds of life cycles. So life cycles की जब हमने बात की थी, we said there is a traditional life cycle, we said there is a prototyping, and we said there is a RAD and JAD जिसको हम आगे chapter में देखेंगे. But we said that traditional life cycle के again 5 phases हैं, and which are pretty much the same as the problem solving ones. That means system investigation, that is giving you an idea of what is the problem and is it worth solving or not. System analysis is that what needs to be done to solve the problem. System design is that how is the system going to work to solve that problem, or how is it going to work to obtain a certain solution. And number 4th is putting that solution into action, and number 5th is the maintenance and review. That means that के आपने जो solution को in action लिया है, implementation जो कर दिया है, then you're going to evaluate that solution and how is that implementation working. So basically it's all about evaluating and ensuring that the system is going to work as it was intended to work. Then we said that यही वाले phases हैं, यही वाले 5 phases and that work in prototyping as well, but it is an iterative approach. So that means that every iteration ends with a user review, and after that user review जो भी changes होते हैं that become the next phase. So next iteration का number 1 phase, and that is the user requirements, वो बन जाती हैं, and then the next iteration starts all over again. फ़ायदा इसका क्या होता है, you get the user review, errors जो हैं वो reduce हो जाते हैं, user needs जो हैं वो ज़्यादा define हो जाती हैं, and the users get to know that this is exactly what they want. While on the other hand traditional systems में ये था कि जो user involvement जो है वो बिल्कुल end में आ रही थी, and the users की जो needs हैं they were not met exactly, because at times शुरू में programmers might not have understood, या system analysts might not have been able to easily communicate the user needs to the developers. So there are certain problems that arise due to prototyping as well, and due to traditional system development life cycle as well. So this is all for today. We're going to meet in the next lecture with the following लाइफ साइकिल्स जिसमें हम रैड को दैट इज द रैपिड एप्लीकेशन डेवलपमेंट को डिस्कस करेंगे एज वेल एज वी गोइंग टू डिस्कस द एंड यूजर डेवलपमेंट लाइफ साइकिल and then afterwards we're going to discuss the system investigation as well as the system analysis phase. Thank you very much.